Is asked a question about Acts 21 and how Paul, when he goes to Jerusalem, he has a sacrifice made for him and he's hobnobbing with the Jews. And the question is, well, why does he kind of do the Jewish thing there when he's at another time correcting Peter about doing the Jewish thing? And I think here we have an example of something else that Paul says in 1 Corinthians, I believe, in play. Paul says that I have become all things to all men in order that by all means I might win some. In other words, well, as he goes on to say, to the Jew I became a Jew under the law, though I'm not really under the law, but I acted as if I were because you guys believe I'm under the law. To the Gentiles, I became like a Gentile. In other words, in non-moral areas, he lived in a way that's sensitive to the cultural concerns and even religious concerns of those he was trying to reach. And so this is why when he went to Jerusalem, he played along, because there was nothing to lose for him to do that. There wasn't wrong for him to do that. He didn't see the sacrifice as efficacious. This is clear. But he saw it as, in other words, it didn't forgive his sins, but he saw it as a way of kind of connecting better with those people he was trying to reach. Now, in the case of Peter in Galatians, you have something entirely different. There, the gospel itself was at stake because the Judaizers visiting the Galatian region, who Peter was sidling up with, were actually bringing a different message regarding Christianity. They were saying Jesus plus the law. And so this was purported to be the Christian message, not just simply the Jewish message that we see in Jerusalem being practiced, that Paul, in a sense, participated in. So since the issue of the gospel itself was at stake, Paul made a goal line stand. And he said, Peter, you're confusing things. You're siding with these guys who are distorting the gospel, and therefore I'm going to oppose you to your face. So there is no confusion for these Galatians as to the relationship of the law and the gospel. So I don't see any contradiction there in Paul's behavior. I see him standing firm for the gospel when the gospel's at stake and making the relevant distinctions. But when the gospel's not at stake, kind of going along with the program culturally so that he has more access to those people he's trying to reach.